Right, good day everyone. So today we are going to discuss chapter 8 of our subject strategic management. So it is entitled Strategic Alliance and Partnership. So here are the contents that we are going to discuss: types of strategic alliance, benefits and challenges of alliances, managing alliances relationship, partner selection and compatibilities assessment, and last is we are going to discuss samples of successful and failed strategic alliance. Okay, let's proceed with the first topic, types of strategic alliances. So, but before that, let's discuss first what is strategic alliance. So, when we say strategic alliance, it is the arrangement between two separate businesses to partner on a mutual beneficial project, no? Each business still retains independence, no? That this partnership usually long-term or in nature, in which business bringing its expertise and resources to the table to achieve mutual goals and growth. Okay? So not all alliances turn out to be strategic, no? So, kaya mamaya we are going to discuss yung success and failures, example of success and failure strategic alliance. Okay? So, here are the types of strategic alliances. We have joint, equity alliance, and non-equity alliance. So, to discuss, with the first one is joint venture. Okay? So, in a joint venture, two companies come together to form a third distinct legal business entity. So, it is usually called child company, by means of binding contract. So, here are the example. One of the example is yung Tata Starbucks. So, it is a joint venture between Starbucks Corporation and a Tata Global Beverages, no? So, yung Tata Global Beverages, it is the world's second largest tea producer, no? In 2012, the two beverage giant partnered together with 50-50 ownership to leverage their individual brands of coffee and high-quality tea and coffee. So, yung dalawang giant company with regards sa beverages, nag-join force, nag-establish sila another company na pinopromote yung kanya-kanyang product, no? So, yun yung tinatawag yung child company. So, joint venture yon. Now, the other types is yung equity strategic alliances. So, an equity strategic alliance occurs when one company purchase equity in another business. So, usually, tawag yan, partial acquisition. Or each business purchase equity in each other, or what we call cross-equity transaction, no? Pag partial, yung isang company bumili lang dun sa kabila. Pero pag pares silang bumili ng equity dun sa kanya-kanyang business, cross equity transaction. So these are the example of equity strategic alliance, no? Yung Tesla, they have a strategic alliance with Panasonic, no? So their relationship began with a 30 million investment of Panasonic, no, sa Tesla. So to accelerate battery technology for electric vehicles and grew to include building a lithium-ion battery plant in Nevada. So, ayan. Ibig sabihin, nag-invest, no? Yung Panasonic. May equity. So, the third one is non-equity strategic alliance. When we say non-equity, it is an organization create an agreement to share resources without creating separate entity and sharing equity, no? So, walang money involved. So, non-equity alliance are often most loose and informal than partnership involving equity. Okay? So, these make up the vast majority of business alliances. So, ito yung example, no, ng non-equity, yung sa FedEx. So, alam naman natin, sa FedEx, yung logistic company, no? So, nakapag-team up sila with a big commerce, no, to provide a convenient delivery sa mga e-commerce customers. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung FedEx, nakipag-tie up sila, wala silang ininvest, walang perang involved. Ang sila lang yung magiging logistic ng big commerce. Yung big commerce, no, wala ring ininvest dun sa FedEx. So, lahat lang ng shipping nila, FedEx ang co-cooperate. So, they tie up. Tapos, yung mga kita nila, kanya-kanya pa rin. Separate. So, yun yung tinatawagan ng equity alliance. Okay, so what is the benefits and challenges of alliances, no? So, let's discuss yung advantage at yung disadvantage. First is yung advantage. Of course, one of the advantage is sharing resources and expertise. So, a strategic alliance should combine the best both companies have to offer, no? This can be a deeper understanding of product, sale, or marketing knowledge, or even just more hands-on to increase speed to market, no? So another advantage is new market penetration. Of course, yung kapag nakipag-strategic alliance ka with other company, yung market na tina-target nung company na pinag-alliancean mo is magiging market mo na rin. So magkakaroon ka ng panibagong market penetration. Another advantage is yung expanded production, no? So it comes to a manufacturing and distributing products. So strategic alliances allow partners to increase their capabilities and scale quickly to meet demand. Okay? So another advantage is drive innovation. So with the right alliance, partners can outpace the competition with new solutions that are complete package for their customers. So these alliances are creative and revolutionary and change the market landscape in a dramatic way. So let's discuss naman yung disadvantage of strategic alliance. Of course, loss of control. So may mga ganyan, no? May mga alliances, both organizations must cede some control over how their businesses run and perceive. No, strategic alliance requires honesty and transparency, but that trust isn't built overnight, no? Without significant buy-in, both parties and alliance may suffer. Okay? Another disadvantage is increased liability. Okay? So in a joint venture or a equity strategic alliance, both companies are on the hook for the outcome. So if something happens to stalls production or create unhappy customers, both partners are at risk to loss in reputation. So yun ang mga disadvantage, no? If nagkaroon ng unhappy customers, pati yung brand mo, syempre ka-alliance mo siya, pati yung brand name mo, madadamay din, no? Okay, so next topic is managing alliance relationship. So here are we have here 5 principles, no? That we are going to discuss. We need to less emphasis on these topics and more emphasis on this. So sabi sa survey, no, 25% of alliance na nagiging successful daw in revenue. Pero 60 to 70% nagkakaroon ng failure rate, no? And despite an abundance of advice on how to make alliances work, that dismissal record hasn't improved in the past decade. So here are the 5 principles in managing alliance relationship. First is focus on defining the business plan. Less focus, no, in defining business plan and more on how you work together. So, mahirap yan, no? Lalo na kapag, kunyari, makikipag-tie up ka, no? So, it is very important kapag nakipag-tie up ka, magkaroon ng teamwork between both companies, no? Kasi kapag hindi, magkakaroon ng iringan. Mamaya, marami tayong examples, no, na company na hindi nagkaintindihan because yung isa may sarili, ito yung goal niya, yung isa, ito yung goal niya, taliwas, no? Dapat, they work together. So people involved in 100 of failed alliance we have seen over the years, no? Consistently pointed to breakdowns in trust. Yan, wala na ng trust, yung communication and inability to resolve the inevitable success disagreement. Nagkakaroon ng disagreement, no? So, yan yung mga common cause of failure. Okay? So, next principle is, ayan nga. So, part of the principle number 1, no, dapat magkaroon ng collaboration between the team members. Okay? Understanding yung partners' organizational structures, procedure, and policy, yung culture nila, tsaka norms. Dapat, kung makikipag-alliance ka, dapat accepted mo rin yun, no? So, principle number 2 is develop metrics. Peg not only to alliance goals, but also to alliance progress. No? So instead of focusing on the ends measurements of financial value, company need to establish means measurements to the factor that will affect the alliance ultimate performance. Leading indicators, if you will, of its success or failure, good results on these interim metrics can sustain corporate commitment precisely when it is needed most. So, usually, ito, no? Siyempre, may kanya-kanyang metrics, no? Sa mga company. So, dapat mag-focus yung both partners, no? In their progress, hindi yung kanya-kanyang metrics. Kasi mangyayari niyan, magkakaroon ng disagreement kapag ito yung metrics namin, hindi kasundo, no? So, dapat mag-focus doon sa progress nila. So, principle number 3, instead of trying to eliminate differences, leverage them to create value. Ayan, no? So, dapat, siyempre, merong mga differences between those partners. Kunyari, katulad example natin, no? Yung Tata tsaka yung Starbucks na joint force. Siyempre, may mga differences yan. No? And it is important na wag tayong mag-focus dun sa differences ng bawat isa. But from that differences, magkaroon kayo ng core value. Okay? So, principle number 4, go beyond formal governance structure to encourage collaborative behavior. No? So, this means leader must actively foster collaborative behavior among all the people. Ito minsan, no? Nagkakaroon ng finger pointing, no? Kapag may nag-fail, nagtuturuan, ayan. Sa partnership, para magkaroon ng mas mabuting relationship, no? Iwasan yung pagbe-blame, no? So, last principle is spend as much time in managing internal stakeholders as on managing the relationship with your partner. So, ito medyo mahirap, no? Ang nangyayari kasi, kunyari, dalawang company nag-tie up, nagkaroon ng alliance. Meron niyang kanya-kanyang sariling business unit, no? So, syempre may mga heads yan. So, ibig sabihin, yung heads ng, kunyari, sa finance, no? Yung head ng isang company plus yung head ng, ano yan, ng isang company. Ang mangyayari niyan, magka-collaborate sila. Syempre, mahirap sa isang company na dalawa ang heads. Dapat isa lang, no? Eh, syempre, sino bababa dun? Yan, dyan nagkakaroon ng discussion, no? Syempre, sino bababa? Eh, pareha silang finance head. Yan. So, dapat, as you have alliance with, dapat, straightforward tayo dun sa mga policies bago kayo magpirma ng kontrata sa magiging kapartner alliance mo, no? So, dapat magkaroon na ng policy muna pagdating sa ganun bago mo mag-join force, no? Para at least malinaw sa mga empleyado ng mga company na yon. Okay? So, next topic is partner selection and compatibility assessment. So, here are the key features of our partner assessment and selection solution include needs assessment. Ayan na nga, no? Sabi ko nga kanina, we need to assess first yung company. We work closely with our clients to understand their specific partnership requirements and objectives, no? So through comprehensive needs assessment, we identify the key criteria and qualities that ideal partner should possess. So, huwag tayo basta-basta makipag-alliance, no? Kailangan talagang pag-aralan, no? Identify mo muna yung mga needs assessment. Bakit mo kailangan makapag-tie up, no? So, identify mo lahat yon. So, partner profiling, napakahalaga, no? Our team conducts rigorous research and analysis in identifying potential partners that meet the defined criteria, no? Parang nag-hire ka rin ng mga empleyado. So, dapat sa partner, kailangan may mga criteria ka rin na tinitingnan, no? We assess their capability, track record, industry reputation, cultural compatibility to create comprehensive partner profiles, no? If yung partner na i-hire or i-tie up mo is compatible ba doon sa organization mo. So, it is very important na you should know yung profile ng magiging kapartner. After that, evaluation framework. So, we develop customized evaluation framework to objectively assess potential partner against redefined criteria. So, the evaluation process includes interview, site visit, reference checks, and through due diligence to gather critical insights. After that, so decision support. After you evaluate, you need to provide organization with clear and actionable recommendation based on evaluation findings. So the team helps weigh the pros and cons in each potential partner. So facilitating informed decision-making that aligns with organizational strategic goals. So after that, partnership facilitation. Kapag nakapag-decide ka na, that's the time you need to facilitate with the partnership. So, the negotiation, yung agreement phase, yan papasok dyan, no? Ensuring that the partner terms and condition are fair, yan. Tapos our team acts as a facilitator helping establish a strong foundation for successful collaboration. Yan yung mga selection solution, no? So, meron ako ritong guides, no? Questions to narrow down your best choices. Okay? So, this question will guide you if siya ba yung right company na pwede mong ka-tie up. So, what are the key traits you're looking for in a partner? So, you need to answer that, no? So, what value do you expect from the potential partner? So, the more quantity, the better, no? Next is, how much risk do you see coming from the potential partner? Yan, dapat palang, di ka pa nakikipag-tie up, titignan na kagad yung mga risk na pwedeng mangyari kapag siya yung naging ka-tie up mo, no? Do you share the same values, vision, and goals? So, are your corporate management structure compatible with each other? Does the partner have previous experience in partnership? If so, have you reviewed their track record and performance? Yan. So, have you thoroughly researched and the potential partner reputation, profitability, and expertise? So, you can do this through referrals or due diligence and advice from the expert. How long do you see the engagement lasting? Yeah, can the partner connect you to another potential beneficial organization in their network? Yeah. So this question will guide you, no, in order for you to decide a good decision making when it terms to tying up with any organizations. Okay. So here are the sample of successful and failed strategic alliance. Some example is strategic success sample of strategic alliance. So, yung Uber tsaka yung Spotify. So, they tie up yung Uber, all of the driver need to download yung Spotify, and then while going to the location or driving kasama yung customers, they need to play yung Spotify. So, hanggang ngayon, naging successful hanggang ngayon, no? So, they still tie up. Yan. Ito yung Starbucks and Target. Ito, Target sa US, no? Para siyang SM, no? Department store siya. So, yung Starbucks nakipag-tie up sa Target. So, wherever you go sa ibang bansa, no? Sa lahat ng Target, merong Starbucks store, no? Kasi target nila is lahat ng mga busy shopping, no? Yung mga nagsha-shopping, no? Kapag napagod, nandiyan yung Starbucks. So, kumikita ang Target doon, syempre, nagbabayad yung Starbucks sa Target for the rental fees, of course. No? So, second successful strategy is Starbucks and Barnes and Noble. So, Barnes and Noble is famous bookstore sa ibang bansa, no? So, para siyang national bookstore dito sa Pilipinas. So, nakapag-tie up yung Barnes and Nobles. So, Barnes and Nobles, di ba? Bookstore siya. At the same time, while buying or looking for a book, no? Na merong Starbucks. May pwesteng Starbucks dun sa lugar nila. So, kahit saan ka pumunta, no? Yung Barnes and Noble na company, merong Starbucks booth or sabihin natin merong Starbucks stall doon sa pwesto. Okay? Hanggang ngayon, they exist. And kumikita yung Starbucks. At the same time, dahil sikat nga yung Starbucks, napopromote naman yung Barnes and Nobles. Okay? Disney and Chevrolet. Ito yung Disney and Chevrolet, di ba? Merong tiniting Disneyland, na nakipag-tie up yung Chevrolet. So, may isang ride sila na kung saan Chevrolet yung gumawa. Isang ride. Tapos, paglabas mo doon, may malaking TV na may mga commercial ng Chevrolet doon. At the same time, may mga sample cars yung Chevrolet. Through that, lumaki yung sales, no? Napopromote yung mga cars ng Chevrolet through Disney. Kasi sikat yung Disneyland, no? Parang ano siya, yung pinupuntan or dinadayo ng iba't ibang foreign citizen, no? So, next is yung Red Bull and GoPro. Okay? Successful din kasi hanggang ngayon, they still tie up with one another. Yung mga Red Bull, no? Lahat ng kanilang mga sport fest, no? O mga, nagsimula yan yung sa clouds. Yung sa Red Bull, yung parang may commercial silang clouds. Siyempre, yung commercial nila na kailangan yung mga sports yung paglipad sa clouds kita yung na cover yung race and nagamit nila yung GoPro. So sa lahat ng mga sport events nila, they are using GoPro, no? So through that na po-promote yung product, no? So here are the example of failed strategic alliance example, no? Ito naman yung mga nagkaroon ng aberya. Hindi natuloy, no? Even sabihin natin years, 40, katulad na itong example, Heinz and McDonald's, no? 40 years silang tied up. Ibig sabihin, naging successful naman. Pero in the end, they decided to separate, no? Bakit nag-separate? Yung Heinz and McDonald's, tie up sila. So, McDonald's kumukuha ng ketchup, no, sa Heinz. Now, ano nangyari? Yung Heinz, parang hinire nila yung former head ng Burger King, which is kalaban ng McDonald's, no? And ngayon ang naging executive head ng Heinz is um ang executive so kalaban ng McDonald's yung Burger King naging head executive ng Heinz yung former head ng Burger King. Of course, sila yung magta-tie up sila kaya humiwalay na lang yung McDonald's. Okay? So, next is yung Kraft and Starbucks. So, 12 years silang tie up, no? So, kumita rin naman yung Starbucks sa Kraft. Pero nag-separate lives din sila. Kasi, ang reason ng Starbucks is hindi naman na-promote yung hindi na na-promote yung product nila kasi parang may third party na yung Kraft is nakipag-tie up doon sa isang coffee, yun eh, isang coffee company rin, no? Yung Settle Best, Settle Best yata yan. No? So, next is Forever 21, tsaka yung Atkins. Yung Forever 21, of course, yung clothing company to, no? Yung Atkins is yung yan, yung mga slimming bar. Okay? So, sa mga nag-order ng Forever 21 online, napadala nila ng Atkins. Yun yung mga nagreklamo, no? Yung mga, ang pinapadala nila yung mga oversize, mga plus size. Tapos pinapadala nila Atkins. Parang na-offend yung mga nagreklamo. Yung mga customers, yung parang body shaming daw sa kanila kasi pinapadalan sila ng slimming bar. Yung mga umu-order ng mga plus size. So, from that, hindi naging effective yung kanilang strategic alliance. Yung U2 and Apple, no? Yung U2 naman, ito yung band rock, no? Tapos nag-tie up sila sa Apple. So, sikat na rock band to. Tapos yung Apple, sikat sila sa mga iPad, no? Dati. Tapos, ang nangyari, matagal na sila, no? Nag-tie up. Tapos, yung nagkaroon na ng iPhone, yung Apple, Mac. Dati yung Apple, sila, sa iPad. Tapos ngayon, nagkaroon na ng computers, yan. They still tie up, no? Sa rock band na YouTube. Tapos, pero, anong nangyari kasi, parang, pinapromote ng Apple yung YouTube. Syempre, sa mga customers, parang nawawala ng personalized pagdating sa music, no? So, to make the long story short, naghiwalay din sila. Okay? So, sa last yung eBay tsaka PayPal, no? Yung eBay, alam naman natin to, yung e-commerce platform. Tapos yung PayPal, diyan nagbabayad sila ng, diyan dumadaan yung payment, lahat ng nagbabayad sa eBay. So, tagal na sila pero nagbigla silang hiwalay, no? Ang nilabas lang sa public na reason is yung eBay nakipag-tie up na sa Adyen, no? Kalaban ng PayPal. Adyen, ang reason lang nila is they want lower cost of delivery. Pero hindi na nila hindi na nila in-explain yung reason behind that. Siguro may karoon sila ng mga hindi pagkakanawaan na ganyan, no? So, pero matagal din silang nag-tie up. And alam naman natin, sumikat na yung eBay. Tapos yung PayPal, alam din natin, sikat na rin sila. So, they separate lives. So, that's it for our chapter 8. So, thank you for listening and see you next meeting.